What's going on? This is Wrestling Art, and this is my review for nights 1 and 2 for WrestleMania, and as the show WrestleMania 40 as a whole together. Okay, so right away off the bat, I just want to summarize it. I think that it was a really good WrestleMania. I don't think that it was one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. Okay, here's the thing. There is a tier 1 for the best WrestleManias of all time, and that is WrestleMania 17, WrestleMania 3, and WrestleMania 19. And then after that, you've got tier 2, and tier 2 has definitely WrestleMania 14 and, say, something like WrestleMania 30. And then after WrestleMania 14, WrestleMania 30, that's when it starts to get really tricky, where you can actually kind of have arguments about things like, well, what else should be in the top tier? Should it be WrestleMania 6? Well, that had a great epic match, but, I don't know. Well, what about WrestleMania 18? Well, that had another great epic match, but, what about WrestleMania 21? And that's when it gets tricky, but the thing with the top tier, the number 1 tier with WrestleMania 3, 17, and WrestleMania 19 is that we know for sure those are the top 3. Those are the best of the best. And right beneath that, tier 2, at the top of that is probably WrestleMania 14 and WrestleMania 30. And after that, it gets debatable. Now, this WrestleMania 40, I definitely think that it belongs in the tier 2 part. But I think that it is in the top, but I think that it's right below. It's definitely below WrestleMania 14. Not by a lot. But I shouldn't say definitely, but I think that WrestleMania 14 is a little bit better, and I'm questionable right now as to if 40 is better than 30. But bottom line, what I'm trying to say is that definitely WrestleMania 40 belongs in the top part of the second tier of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, but it does not enter in the definite greatest WrestleManias of all time, which is WrestleManias 17, 3, and 19. All right, so now let's get to WrestleMania 40. There were 2 nights here. I totally believe that the second night was better than the first night. The first night was kind of plagued with the really bad cold weather, and you could see it visibly, like, make an effect on the crowd. But overall, I really, really enjoyed it, and I had really high expectations for this WrestleMania because things have been so exciting and they've been changing, and this new era of wrestling it's evident. And I just knew that what they have been doing in the last few months, like, I knew they were going to deliver. I knew that it was going to be exciting, unpredictable. It was going to be edgier. I knew that they were going to deliver because lately this shit has really been good. So, yeah, it lived up to what I thought it would be, and it kind of did exceed my expectations, but it pretty much was what I thought it was going to be. Okay, so night 1 starts out, and even like at 2 o'clock or whenever they did the countdown, you could see that the energy was low at WrestleMania because it was so cold. I mean, they were saying, oh, it's 48 degrees or whatever the hell. Like, dude, that shit looked cold, okay? I hate cold weather. I don't do cold weather, and yeah, man, it definitely made an effect on the crowd, and they weren't that energized. It was low energy because they're probably in their minds thinking like, fuck, man, it's fucking cold, rather than just letting it go and just being like, fuck yeah, it's WrestleMania. And that's exactly how it was right when it started, too, when the actual WrestleMania started. I mean, everybody was like, fuck, it's cold, fuck, it's cold. And so, hey, it is what it is. It sucks, but it is what it is. The first match was Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. They didn't do any kind of a video package on their feud. They just did this book thing with Becky, but, I mean, that's okay. Then Rhea goes out there, and she's got this live band with her. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name. It's Poetry in Motion or Silence in Motion or some shit like that. Fuck. I'm not trying to disrespect this guy. I really don't know what the fuck it is. Silence in Motion? What? I'm fucking sorry. I forget what the fucking name of the Gosh darn, I have my notes here. I can't even find it. I forgot what their name is, okay? But anyways, yeah, so she comes out to a live band, and the first thing I saw when I saw that dude's face was, I thought it was Rhea because it looked like Rhea. And then I was like, wait a minute, that looks kind of weird. What? And I was like, oh, wait, that's not Rhea. Oh, no, wait, that's the guy that sings the song. Oh, no shit. And then I was like, oh, that's weird. That dude looks just like Rhea. So anyways, Rhea comes out with the band, and she's got a live performance, and that was cool and everything, but, you know, I'm kind of spoiled with Rhea Ripley when it comes, you know, because of last year, because Last year when she had her match with Charlotte Flair, I think that was like the match of the year and it was great. And I loved her entrance last year, even though it was just her. It was like captivating. It was just perfect. So I knew it was probably fun for her to go out there with the band, and it was different and it was cool. But I can't not compare this match with last year. So it was a good entrance. I liked it, but yeah, I'm spoiled and I can't get how great last year was. But anyways, she goes out there and they start doing this thing with Becky Lynch where they're saying that she's sick, and she probably was sick. I'm sure a lot of people didn't feel good, but I already kind of had a feeling that Rhea was going to win because Rhea is so dominant right now and they're just wanting to play on that. But I totally had a feeling like, okay, well, they're saying that she's sick, so Becky Lynch's stock doesn't go down when she loses. But whatever, it's all good. If she was sick, she did a really good job. Both chicks did a really good job in this match. It was hard-hitting. It was kind of, sort of, there wasn't anything bad with the match, but I'm spoiled when it comes to Rhea Ripley matches, and I was just thinking about her match with Charlotte Flair last year. So it is unfair, but it was a good match. It wasn't real bad. Let me see, my notes here say that, let's see, yeah, I'm not surprised with the fact that Rhea won. The crowd was really into Mommy more than they were into Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch is really cool. And I know, like, whatever, and it's a gray area sometimes, look, Rhea Ripley's the fucking shit, all right? She's fucking awesome. Everything that she does is great. Her promo, her skills, her selling, everything that she does in the ring is fucking great. I think they made the right decision by having her win, and yeah, it was really cool. So that match, I gave that match 3.25 stars. Okay, so the second match of night one is a six-pack ladder match. You've got the New Day, you've got the Awesome Truth, which is great, Austin Theory, and some other guy. Judgment Day guys. I mean, yeah, this was really cool. I was like, okay, cool. I got, Money in the Bank, WrestleMania 23, WrestleMania 24 vibes. And I'm like, please bring out those tables. Please bring out those tables. The fans started chanting, we want tables. And guess what? They started bringing out tables, which was awesome because they kind of have been doing that like in the last few years, the last few McMahon years, but not really so much. And so the fact that they did that, I'm like, okay, fuck yeah. Hopefully we get some old school TLC table match vibes, like with the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys. I mean, that would be awesome. That they're there again with like those super dope ass like TLC matches when they start stacking the tables and guys are going through two tables. Okay, that didn't happen, but we saw some really, really cool stuff with the tables, and the fact that they're bringing them out because they know that we want them is a really good sign. And so then those two guys win. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I'm like, okay, now we got another shot. And I'm like, please just have R-Truth and The Miz win. Like, because I love R-Truth and I like The Miz. I really wanted them, the men, to win. And then you see, like, JD came out here, and I was like, oh, fuck JD. And then they totally knew what to do with him. They drove his ass through a table, which was great. And then at this point, I didn't care about anything else. I had already seen some really cool, like, high spots, and all I wanted was R-Truth and The Miz to win. And I'm thinking, okay, I know the times are different because it's under different management, but normally in a Vince McMahon WWE ran whatever, when he was under control of everything, there's no way that R-Truth wins the championship. But I was like, we'll see. I was hoping, and then R-Truth won. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. That told me right there, they really, really are listening to the fans and giving the fans what they want. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't pinpoint it exactly, but all I'm saying is for sure in a McMahon ran WWE, R-Truth and The Miz don't win that tag team title that night. I gave this match 4 stars because of the ending and because they had R-Truth win and the fans were really, really happy about it. So the next match is Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Dom and Santos Escobar. Okay, so this match, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't like super amazing or super great either. I mean, this was really cool to see like the new moves that they had, and I know that the crowd was into it. And basically what they just wanted to do was they just wanted to focus on Rey Mysterio versus Dom again. They just kind of had to dress it up a little bit different to make you think that you weren't just getting the same thing. And I get it. It's all good. And this match, one thing that really went for it was the length of it did not go too long, and they packed everything in pretty nice. And when the dudes came in with the masks, I was like, who the fuck are these guys? In my head, I thought, like, dude, I I know it's not going to be them, but these look like the DOA guys. I don't know, maybe they look bald to me with the masks on, and I can see like the goatee. They look like the DOA guys from the Attitude Era, the Disciples of Apocalypse, the dudes, the three dudes that drove around in the motorcycles. So, but I knew it wasn't going to be them. It was cool. It was like Travis Kelce and the other Philadelphia Eagles player. The fans were into it. It was cool. The length of it was good. The LWO wins, and it was all good. It wasn't bad at all. It wasn't like great, but everything was done well. I gave that match 3.5 stars. Okay, so the next match of WrestleMania 40 Night 1 is what I thought was the worst match of the entire WrestleMania, which is Jey Uso versus Jim Uso. And yeah, I mean, it was a cool story, like brothers against brothers and stuff like that. And all, the crowd was into it. They were invested and everything like that. But you know what? I honestly, I don't think that they really have that good of chemistry as opponents. Obviously, we know that they're very talented professional wrestlers and they're tag team wrestlers, but I just don't think that they worked very well against each other. Like Bret Hart and Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10 worked very well with each other, and they did have chemistry. I'm sorry to say, I don't think that Jay and Jim had that chemistry. It seemed very tentative. I could tell that they were talking to each other. There were these slow parts. They were trying to tell this story how like one brother's hurt and the other brother is like, look, I told you guys what was going to happen to you, and look at you now, kind of thing. And it was kind of cool to see, like, maybe you thought they were going to make up and this and that. And no, the good guy wins. Jay wins. I'm not hating on either one of them, but like, I really just don't think that this was a good match. I don't think that I could tell they probably haven't wrestled each other a lot of times. And I just think that they just chemistry just wasn't there. It wasn't fluid, man. They could have used more work on it. It definitely did not seem like a fight. You could see them working and talking to each other, and yeah. So, anyways, I didn't think that this was very good, and I thought it was close to being bad. But like I said, I don't have anything against them. It is what it is. But I gave this match 2 out of 5 stars. So now we're 4 matches in. The sun has totally gone down. It's pretty good so far. It's a feeling of the fans are being given what they want, but there's still this vibe in the air like it's fucking cold. And that coldness is affecting the crowd's mood, and they are kind of not as excited because of it, because instead of just thinking about WrestleMania, they're thinking, fuck, I'm cold and I'm uncomfortable. Okay, so the next match is Damage Control versus Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi. Now, I was excited for this for a lot of reasons, and the biggest takeaway from this, in my head, I was just thinking Jade. Oh, wow. That's just what was going on in my head. I like all the girls in this. I think it kind of sucks, though, for Damage Control, because they just totally jobbed out to Naomi and especially Jade and Bianca, because like they didn't have the shine. They totally went in there and put them over, just basically like what Luna did for Sable at WrestleMania 14. It was basically that. It was just a showcase, just to put over, pretty much to put over Jade, really, because Bianca's already over and Jade's over too, but this was her coming out party. Naomi, she took a back seat a little bit to both Bianca and Jade, and they did the smart thing where they had Jade be outside for a while, had people want to see her get in the ring and this and that. And Bianca showed some really impressive like athletics and athleticism, whatever you call it. She did all of her great Bianca Belair moves, and then it was time for Jade to come in, and Jade just whooped ass. And look, I'm just gonna be honest. Look, Jade, she's got this something when you see her, it's like you want to watch her. She's got that it factor. She doesn't have to have the best moves. She looks fucking great. She's got an amazing body, but she's got like this, The Rock and the Ultimate Warrior and the Hulk Hogan vibe, where you just want to see them. And it was just like the highlight of the match was just seeing her in there. She was a star. She looked like a star. Everything. I totally was digging it. It was like, dude, this is fucking great. She's got star power, and I loved it. And Bianca Belair has star power too, and I think Asuka does too. But like, I mean, Jade is like wow. So, yeah, they were smart to do what they did. She just looks like she looks fucking great. Anyways, their entrance was really cool. I loved all the stuff that they did. And look, I think that Jade's really interesting because I think what they should do is they just have her go out there and beat people's asses. And I think that they should have a match eventually with her and Rhea Ripley because Jade's pretty big. She's a lot taller than all the other girls. And there's like Charlotte Flair, there's Rhea Ripley, and there's Jade as far as like the same kind of a size, whatever. Yeah, Jade's bigger than both of them, but I mean, yeah, I'm real glad that Jade's there. That was fucking dope. And one thing about her makeup is she had that line down her face and her hair was kind of like parted or whatever, curly on one side, like Two-Face. You know, like the Batman movie for Batman and what is it, Batman Forever, when Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face. So I was thinking, well, maybe she's gonna turn on Bianca Belair, and that's why she's got that line painted right down the middle of her. Maybe that's she's gonna be Two-Face or whatever. It didn't happen. Whatever. It was cool. It also looked kind of weird too because those the Damage Control girls are like way smaller than the three girls, the Bianca and Jade and Naomi. It was like not a fair fight. Like, dude, we're talking like, no, they're like way smaller. Totally, no, it did not look fair. It wasn't very believable that they would have a chance against them in a fight. And one thing I saw that might not have been intentional, but I thought it was kind of funny was. And one thing that I noticed that was, it probably was intentional. I don't think they meant anything bad by it, but it was kind of funny, is it was the advertising on the ring and the marketing. I saw a tweet on it, and it was like WWE is racist with their marketing, and then I thought about it. It was kind of funny, but it seems like it was a smart move. I don't know. I don't even know what to say, but here's the joke. This is what I saw online somewhere. It had a picture of the ring, like the advertisement for when Jade and them were out there, and the advertisement on the ring like screen was Wingstop. And like the stereotype that black people like to eat chicken, and so they had the Wingstop, the buffalo wings. And then on the same, like the little joke thing that I saw online, that match earlier in the night with the LWO, well, they had their advertisement on the ring when the LWO was out there was like aguas frescas or something like that. So it totally is like, look, for the black people, man, we gotta advertise Wingstop. And then for our Latinos, we gotta put that aguas frescas out there. Yeah, I think they did it on purpose. I don't think there's anything bad with it, but it was funny. What I saw online was pretty funny. But then I was joking with my friend, and I was like, well, we're white, so what about us? Like, what are they going to give us? How come they don't have advertisements for, like, hot dogs and burgers and stuff? But I don't know, whatever. So all in all, this match was pretty short and sweet. I felt pretty bad for the Damage Control girls. They pretty much, like, totally jobbed out. Short and sweet and exactly what we thought it would be. So this match gets 3 stars. Sorry about that. I was literally eating Sour Patch Kids while I was doing the review. So on to the next match. So the next match, the 6th match, is Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Now the crowd was really into this one right off the bat. They were more into this match than any other match of the night up until this point. And having Sammy's wife involved and how Gunther was looking at her like, oh, your husband's going to lose and this and that. It was kind of like the same vibes that I had for WrestleMania 39 where it was, is Cody finally going to be able to be the one to take down Roman, and Cody's wife is there, and it was, oh, how sad it would be if, Sami Zayn loses in front of his wife. Like, I got those vibes. The match was pretty good. All those false finishes, it made you think, well, like, dude, I don't know, maybe Sami could win. And I gotta be honest with you, this was the only match that I got wrong as far as predicting who would win. I thought that Gunther would retain the title. I did think that, okay? And this was the only one that I got wrong. And it was a really good match. Like, Sami, that crowd was totally into him. The match was great. The fact that Sami won, it was like, wow, now the WWE is really, really giving the fans what they want, and they're definitely listening to them. And I thought that was cool that they ended Gunther's reign and gave it to Sami Zayn. And the whole thing when Sami Zayn was going out there and Kevin was like waiting for him. I mean, all that shit was dope as hell. they made the right choice and they did it the right way. If somebody's going to be a champion for a long time like Gunther, they need to have him lose it the right way. And I think that they did this correctly. And I was taken aback, like, wow, this is definitely a sign that they are definitely listening to the fans. I gave this match 4 stars. The match, I wrote in my thing, it wasn't bad at all. And the end of it with Sammy winning was like the payoff. And the end of it made it a lot better than it. The end of it like solidified 4 stars. Okay, here's one thing I had a disagreement with. Michael Cole was saying that this match was like Rocky IV because it was in, Rocky because it was in Philadelphia. But Rocky IV, he fights Ivan Drago, which is the Russian, and then Sami Zayn fighting Gunther, the German guy. I must break you. So I get that, but here's the problem. In Rocky IV, he fought Ivan Drago in Russia, and he won the crowd over the Russian crowd, and that was a big part of the story there. Here, he was at home. So if anything, it's more like the ending of Rocky 3 when he beats Clubber Lang after Clubber Lang beat him, and yeah, we got our champion back. But anyways, it's all good. Okay, so now we're ready for the main event, but before that, the attendance is announced for night 1, 72,543. At this point, I'm totally digging the new era vibe. The crowd is pretty hyped. I mean, they've already accepted the fact that it's cold. They look cold, but yeah, it's pretty cool and it's been good so far. So here comes the main event with Cody and Seth versus The Rock and Roman. And holy shit, man! I mean, the crowd was on their feet for this one when they were in the ring, staring at each other before the match even started. I did see that like they were kind of trying to stand there and stare each other down to see if they could kind of replicate or get close to replicating the stare down between Hulk and The Rock at WrestleMania 18, where they're just looking at each other and the crowd's going nuts. The crowd was standing at each other and, standing and on their feet, but they weren't going like that nuts. But yeah, this shit was really cool. It was really dope. And I was like, dang, dude, this is going to be a long ass match. And I was happy about it. I totally had street fight vibes in this match. I loved it. There was 100 things that I loved about this match. Just the split screen and just all that stuff. I was really impressed with The Rock and his ability to perform for that long, and everybody else for that matter. The match went on for a whole hour. Everybody looked great in it. They all did a really good job. The Rock and Roman Reigns won, which was no surprise. I pretty much knew, and everybody knew that was going to happen because they wanted it to be bloodline rules for the next match. For the match, the main event the next night. So there was no surprise there, but it was really cool that we got an hour of worth of that stuff and all that street fight vibe stuff, and that was really cool that they pay off for all that time that we had invested into, The Rock versus Cody and all this stuff. They let us see it and they let it play out for a whole hour, and it was cool because a guy could take a break and this and that and blah blah blah, and it still worked. I liked it. I gave this match 4 stars because of the star power of the story that they had going on in it, and the hour-longness and the street fight and all the stuff, just the extra stuff that they gave us in that match. They really delivered. The best match of the night was the main event. The runner-up was the Sami Zayn and Gunther match. It was really close, but just with all the extra stuff going on with the main event, the street fight stuff and the star power and the story being told, that was the best match of the night. Okay, so that concludes night 1, and for night 1 at WrestleMania 40, there were 7 matches. The way I scored it was each match had a possibility of getting 5 stars, so 7 times 5, the possibility for all the match points for WrestleMania night 1 would be 35 points. I ended up coming up with 23 3/4 points, so I just kind of rounded up to 24, so it's about a 66% as far as just on the matches alone, which is a D+. So it's not really that good. I mean, on paper, it looks worse than it really is. But so I've combined everything that happened with WrestleMania and the vibe and the stories and all the other great stuff that goes on with it, and I'm going to score WrestleMania 40 Night 1 at a B-. I'm going to give it a 83%. And some people might think that's low, because WrestleMania 40 was great, but it's all good. That's just night one, and wait till we get to night two. Oh, before I go on to night two, I want to bring up something. I saw online, somebody said that Seth Rollins, for the main event for night one against The Rock, Seth Rollins should come out dressed as Rocky Maivia from Survivor Series 96, which I thought was pretty funny because it's kind of like he's making fun of The Rock, but at the same time, it's also like according to what kind of the shit that Seth wears, but I don't know, I thought it was pretty funny. All right, so here we go, night two of WrestleMania 40. And right off the bat, it opens up, I want to say they already have this new opening intro thing for the new era. I fucking love that. I'm real happy for this new era. And the way that WrestleMania 40 Night 2 opened up, it was sunny. It looked more like WrestleMania weather. Like, it looked positive. It looked good. And you could already tell that the vibe in the crowd was a lot better. They were a lot more livelier because it felt... They weren't fucking freezing their asses off. And yeah, it translated to us at home. We felt more energized watching it because the crowd was more energized. Okay, so right when this show starts, Stephanie McMahon comes out, which was great because I really like her and I think that she should hold her head high. Just all the bad stuff that her dad is being accused of, it's not her fault. And even if she was covering it up, like, well, what do you expect her to do? That's her dad, and it's also the business. So I think that from what I know, she's a good person. So I thought it was cool for her to be proud and show herself and show up. Another thing too, I like Triple H, of course, but I don't think they should call this the Triple H era. I mean, really, no. I don't know, the new attitude, the badder attitude, the fucking whatever, but I love Triple H, but you don't know. So, right away, the first match is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the world title, and it was funny because... when the bagpipes came on for Drew McIntyre, I was watching this and I yelled out, "Piper!" And then I thought, wait a minute, no, of course Piper can't come out because unfortunately Piper's no longer with us, he's deceased, but it just showed how nostalgic and great Piper was in the 80s with all that heel Piper's Pit stuff coming out with the Bandit. I yelled out loud, "Piper!" And I was like, oh no, okay, that's not going to happen. Anyways, that was pretty fucking cool. It gave me Roddy Piper vibes and I fucking loved it. I was literally watching it like kind of swaggering like Roddy Piper would with his hand on his belt looking at the crowd. I don't know, I was marking out, like, totally. So anyways, the weather looks a lot better and this is great, and it made a big difference in this match. The fans are really into this match. There was a billion Claibornes. Drew McIntyre won. I love how they drove home the idea that, look, this is the first time this guy won the title in front of fans. I was kind of surprised a little bit, but I thought that he would win because he kind of deserved it. And, everybody had been talking about maybe Damian Priest is going to use or cash in his Money in the Bank match at the end of Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. And, a lot of people were talking about that. And I did think that there was a possibility that could happen. It was such a controversial topic. That's what everybody was saying. I really was not expecting Damian Priest to come out there. I don't know. I wasn't thinking about it. And then so it was so great how there's Drew out there and he's talking to his wife and he's taking a picture. And you totally think that this guy is getting his moment that he in real life deserves because he didn't get it at, the COVID mania. And then all of a sudden you hear Damian Priest music and the lights and shit. And then, oh, wait, fuck, I forgot to explain. All that stuff before that with CM Punk. Okay, so anyways, when Drew was standing on the table talking shit to CM Punk, that acting that they were doing there was great. It was... this is so good because it wasn't like it was rehearsed acting like how McMahon used to do it where he used to tell you what to say. They knew what they were going to talk about and then they were like, just freestyle it as you do it. So it came from a real place. And CM Punk is so great on the mic. He was saying stuff to him. He was wearing the headphones and he said, look, I just want to let you know, whatever you're saying, I can't hear shit because I got these things on. And then he's laughing at him and then Drew said, oh, do you think that that's funny? And then, CM Punk's like, yeah, I do think it's fucking funny, yeah. Oh, dude, it was so good. I was getting not just Attitude Era vibes, but like the acting was so good because they're not telling them what to do, and they're giving them so much freedom. I was loving it like so much. And then Damian Priest music hit, and I was like, yeah, I was like, fuck yeah. Dude, I fucking loved it, man. It was exciting. I was like, holy fucking shit. I was not expecting it. I fucking loved it. And then, oh yeah, I have to mention too, it was because CM Punk kind of beat up, fucking Drew McIntyre and fucked him up, and it was perfect, man. I loved it. I thought that Damian Priest, I liked to see him with the title. It looked good. And I was excited as fuck when this happened. This, for me, so far, this was the most excited that I got at WrestleMania 40 at that point. This was it right here. I fucking loved it. I thought it was a great decision. I thought it was awesome. Damian Priest fucking deserved it. He looked good in that title, and I loved how he went back, all up the ramp, and then the Judgment Day guys went out there with him, and, Mommy, she's got that white belt, he's got that black belt, and, oh, man, I fucking loved it. It was great. Let me read my notes here. Let's see here. CM Punk funny commentary. I'm reading my notes exactly. CM Punk attacks Drew. Good acting. They are improving. Damian Priest, Money in the Bank. Priest wins with the Money in the Bank. I love this. So great. Great energy. This is great. Damian Priest, Money in the Bank. Oh, what a great start to WrestleMania Night 2. Yeah, that's what I got here. So for the match with fucking Seth Rollins and Drew, I gave it 4.5 stars. Let's see, my notes for that were a good match, good story, the crowd is with it, good story, both guys had a good match. I don't really know why I gave it 4.5 stars. I think I gave it 4.5 stars because of the stuff that happened in the end with Damian Priest. Yeah, I think that's probably why. Other than that, I think it was good. I think it would probably be somewhere around 3.5 or 4 stars, but it got 4.5 stars because of the Damian Priest Money in the Bank stuff. One thing that I want to say is that after this Damian Priest stuff, you totally forgot about any beef that Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre had, and obviously there's a feud there between Drew and CM Punk, but this totally the Damian Priest stuff totally overshadows everything, and one could say, you know what, I feel kind of bad for Seth Rollins or something like that. Well, no, because he was on the other side of this at WrestleMania 31, so he's just, I think in a way, he's kind of returning the favor. Okay, so before I get on to the next fight, I want to give a shout out to that dude that was in the second row wearing the Macho Man outfit 2 different nights. The first night he was wearing the Slim Jim Macho Man outfit, and then the second night he was wearing the Macho King outfit from WrestleMania 6, I believe, or something around Saturday night's main event with Hogan when Buster Douglas was there. I don't know. That shit was fucking dope. Even his crown looked good. So shout out to that guy. All right, so here we go. We got the second match, which is the street fight. It's the Final Testament versus the Street Profits. And yeah, this is, somebody next to me said, is this like a Walmart version of the Judgment Day? They said that about the Final Testament. One of the things I have here on my notes is Corey Graves, because Paul Ellery comes out here in this WrestleMania with the Final Testament, and Corey Graves had said that this was the first time that Paul Ellering was at a WrestleMania, even though he has done so much in the wrestling business. Well, that's not true. He actually was at WrestleMania 8. He came out with the Legion of Doom in Indianapolis because the Legion of Doom couldn't do a match because Mike, who is Hawk, he was in shit for his drinking and all of his partying shenanigans, so they didn't have the confidence to give him a match. So instead, he just went out there in front of the crowd and cut a promo. And I actually asked Joe about this animal. I actually asked him about this. I said, dude, why the fuck did you guys not have a match that time? And Joe looked at me and he said, it's because my fucking piece of shit partner was such a fucking fuck up that he couldn't get his fucking shit together, and they didn't have the fucking balls to fucking book us in a match. So that's why we didn't go out there and fucking do the match. So, yeah, that kind of sucks, but great effort by all these guys. The fact that Bubba Ray Dudley was there was awesome, and it got me all excited. It got me going with, I had a boner for a table, like how the Dudley boys do, how they're like, get the tables! And how the fans are like, we want tables! I swear, I was all fucking excited. I had my table boner was definitely going on, and Bubba Ray was there for a reason. And I was thinking, okay, look, there's 2 chicks here. The Final Testament, they've got chicks. they've got one chick, and then the Street Profits, they've got one chick, and so I'm thinking to myself, dude, I know that Bubba Ray likes to drive chicks through tables, and he used to like to do that. I really want one of these chicks to turn on Bubba Ray so Bubba Ray can, you know, do the power bomb off the top rope like he did to Trish Stratus back in 2000, but that didn't happen. At one point, the Street Profits put one of the Final Testament guys on a table in the middle of the ring. The table broke, but it didn't actually break in the middle. It broke because the legs got fucked up, and that's how it broke, but it was all good. It's a little mishap, but they improv'd it. They were like, well, fuck it. There's got to be another table out here somewhere. And they went out there, and I like the fact that they acknowledged the fact that the table broke. And they didn't just try to pretend like it didn't happen, like it was a mistake. Hey, that didn't happen. Because nobody likes that. The crowd doesn't like that. If something happens, it fucking happened. If something goes wrong, it's fucking live TV. It happened. You fucking acknowledge that shit and don't ignore the elephant in the room. They looked at the crowd. They pulled out the table. They put up their hands like, yeah, one more. And the crowd was with it. So it's just good, like, performance skills. When something bad like that happens, hey, it's all good. Fuck it. Like, acknowledge it. And then so, anyways, they go in there. The Street Profits, they win. And, you know, I want to say with all the table stuff, I was really hoping that they would double stack the tables again. They didn't do that, but I'm not really gonna complain right now because the WWE has been changing things, and I'm really liking everything they're giving us, and at least they're giving us tables again, like more. Like the crowd can say now, we want tables, and tables come out. And the whole part where Bubba Ray did the whole get the tables thing with the three guys, you could see in Bubba's face how happy he was when the whole audience was like, get the tables. It was great. Anyways, the Street Profits, they win. I give this match 3 3/4 stars because of the energy, and the crowd was really into it, and the whole get the table stuff. Yeah, that shit was fucking awesome. And another thing too, if you guys can comment on this, I noticed that the fans were kind of distracted with something that was going on in the audience during this match, and a little bit during the LA Knight match too. I don't know if it was a fight or if there was some kind of a chant going on. I know there was some kind of a chant. I didn't know what the chant was, but if somebody wants to drop in a comment like what it was, that would be cool. But anyways, yeah, I think this is the one where Snoop was on commentary, and it was pretty fucking funny. Like that Snoop shit, when he's on commentary, that shit's pretty funny. The third match is LA Knight versus AJ Styles. This match, it wasn't bad. And unfortunately, I think that I know that they're pushing LA Knight, but I think that he kind of got pushed to the background a little bit because of all the Rock and the Cody stuff. And I get it, I understand. And I think what they're going to do is they're just going to pick up where they kind of left off with them, you know, around SummerSlam last year. He lost a lot of attention because of all the Rock and Cody shit, which is understandable, but it's all good. This match was pretty good, and there was a lot of good stuff that was going on in this WrestleMania, and they gave this match some different things to make it kind of stand out and make it different. They removed the floor mats, and they did some things like that, and the Slim Jim entrance was cool. But just like a lot of other matches in this WrestleMania, it was a pretty good WrestleMania, and there's a lot going on, so when it's all said and done, it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Like, you're not really thinking about this match and talking about it because of all the other great stuff that happened, which is good, but it sucks, but there's nothing wrong with this match. Nothing wrong with the match. LA Knight won. That match gets 3.5 stars. Okay, so now we are on to the fourth match, and so far this WrestleMania has been better than the WrestleMania the night before. Because of the weather, the crowd is a lot better, and it really got off to a really good start with the whole Damian Priest Money in the Bank thing. And honestly, like it is what it is. The crowd is way more into it because they're not miserable from the cold weather. So, anyways, the fourth match is Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus KO. And it was really cool when KO or Kevin Owens was coming out and Sami Zayn was waiting for him. That was fucking awesome. More good stuff. Randy Orton getting on the go-kart with Kevin Owens. That was really cool how they're kind of buddies, and even though it's a triple threat match. And Logan Paul is so well hated, and I don't want to get into all that shit. Like, whatever, he's just kind of lied about some stuff and took people's money or didn't pay him back. Whatever. I don't give a fuck, okay? Yeah, he's there because he is a great athlete, and You know, he's a famous guy, and I don't really give a fuck, okay? I don't, if he left, I wouldn't care. I don't have anything against the guy. He's a tremendous athlete, but I don't care. I like to boo him, okay? Just put it that way, yeah. And he has really good matches. So, anyways, the whole story for this match was really cool. I like how Logan's kind of a douche for both guys, but Randy and, you know, Kevin are friends, and they're kind of, you know, trying to beat up on Logan at the same time, and then they're kind of like, are we going to turn on each other? Are we not going to turn on each other? What's going to happen? And then they finally turn on each other. And, you know, some really cool stuff happens in this match. And then Logan ends up winning. And, yeah, a lot of great athleticism, a lot of great moves in this match. And these guys did very well. I gave this match 4 stars. I almost went 3.5 or 3 3/4, but I didn't. I went a little higher because of the story that was there and how it was a triple threat match and the effort that the guys put in. But all around, like, yeah, it was good. And okay, so here we go. So the second to last match, we got Bayley versus Io Sky for the women's title. Okay, look, I'm going to be honest. Some people I was talking to, they liked the story of this, how the Damage Control turned their back on Bayley. And I'll be honest with you, like, I didn't care about this match going into it. I didn't really care too much about the story, even though I know it was well told. But the effort that both girls put into this match and the bumps that they were taking and all that shit. Like, I mean, Bayley really took a fucking beating. Like, these back suplexes on her head. That interesting thing with her knee and the turnbuckle. I mean, these chicks were really, like, getting potatoed and taking some crazy-ass bumps. So, they really got me really interested in the match just on the effort that they were doing and the great show that they were doing. They potatoed the fuck out of each other in this match, okay? And I was really impressed with Bayley and how, if she's injured, she was able to do that. I mean, both chicks did a great job. Bayley wins, and again, the crowd gets what they want. Kind of, sort of surprising at this point, not being that unpredictable, but it's okay because that match was really good. So I gave this match 4 stars. I didn't think that the match was nowhere near bad. It was a good match, but it didn't have that, like, super oh my gosh factor to it. But it was really good. Okay, so here we go. This is it. This is the 6th match, the last match of WrestleMania 40, the main event. It's Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Is Cody gonna finish his story? Is he gonna defeat Roman Reigns in his crazy long-ass, you know, streak? This is what we've all been waiting for. We knew that they were gonna do something special, and they pretty much, I was surprised with some stuff, but it was pretty much what I thought it was gonna be. But man, it was fucking awesome, dude. Like, I mean, I was excited for this, and it was what I thought it was gonna be, but it was a little bit better too. Okay, so wow. This was my favorite match of the night for sure. Roman Reigns comes out. He looks good. I see it more confidence in Roman. And another thing too is I've talked shit on Roman before in the past, not having good promo skills. I actually see him doing a lot better now in his promos because people are allowing him to say what he feels and he's not being scripted. If he's a jerk, if he's an asshole like he was in the press conference for night 1, I think that works best for him. If he could just be himself, he could probably be okay because he's not good at acting when he's not coming from a real place. I don't know. I think it's a lot better. I'm impressed with him, and he looked really good. And yeah, Paul Heyman, after his speech, I like that dude anyways, but I don't know. I was so fucking happy, dude. I was like, main event, fucking WrestleMania 40. This is fucking awesome. You know, I was fucking loving it. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Cody comes out in that cool mask. It reminded me of Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania 32. And the whole time, too, I was like, where's Cody's wife, Brandy? Because she wasn't there at night 1. And then she comes out, and it looks like she's wearing, like, some wrestling gear. I'm like, is she going to get down, too? But I don't know, man. I loved it. We all know that wrestling is scripted, okay? And we all know that it's a work. We know that, and that's all good. But there is a sense, there's so much real shit that goes on there of I'm wanting to deserve my spot. I'm wanting to be on top. This is my moment. I've been working hard to get to this point. I believe that I should be awarded the title. They should give me the title. They should let me be the guy of the company. You know, all that stuff is very, very real. And that realness was really here in this match, and it had been for a long time. So what we're watching is not just theater art. We're watching real life people being in this moment where they're like, this is my fucking moment that I've worked for so hard to get, and now I've got my wife, and gosh darn it, I'm gonna fucking do it, and this time it's gonna happen. And you know, and there's something really special about there, because we're seeing a real moment here. So the match starts. This totally has the WrestleMania main event feeling. The crowd is on their feet, like, totally for the introduction. It's just the vibe, the feeling, everything is great. The match starts. People are on their feet. They're reacting to everything. Roman looks out at the crowd. The crowd is talking shit to him. Everyone is super invested into this. And then it's time for them to go out and start fighting in the audience. And the funny thing is, I remember Roman, he went out there, and then, like, I guess, like, some fan said something or whatever, and then Roman, like, flinched at him like he was gonna hit him, and then the guy was like, whoa, what the fuck? And then he looked at his friend like, dude, really? Did you see him do that shit? And then so they're out, you know, on some, like, table right there, and I'm fucking loving this shit, like, so much. And it looks like Roman is gonna suplex Cody off of the table, but, like, there's no way he's gonna do it. You know that, like, Cody's gonna block it and reverse it, and that's exactly what happens. And I fucking loved it. And there was a dude that was right next to them watching it, and he was, like, so into it. I remember when this was happening, I was saying, I fucking love this shit. Okay, so now we get to the really, really, really good stuff that we already knew was going to happen. Once they got back to ringside, they had to insert an announcer's table. And one thing I noticed with this WrestleMania was that every time earlier in the night that anyone would use the announcer's table or slam someone on it, it wouldn't break. But then this time when Roman slammed Cody on it, it did break. So it's almost like they had some kind of a mechanism where they allowed it to break at that point. Okay, so now it's time for the really amazing stuff. Okay, so we know because of last year that somebody's going to come in and try to help out the bloodline and beat up Cody and ruin his chances. And we also know that this year is going to be a little bit different, and probably somebody's going to come out and try to help Cody. And we also have a really good feeling that that person is also going to be beefing with The Rock, because The Rock is involved too. So the first person to come out and try to fuck up Cody's stuff is Jimmy Uso. And then, so Jey Uso, he comes out to save Cody, and then Jimmy runs up after Jay, and then they start fighting, and then they do this cool spot where they jump off this ramp thing and they land on a table, and that was really cool. It was way better than their match they had the day before, but it will largely be forgotten about because of the great stuff that is about to happen. So now that happened, and we're getting excited because we know that there's going to be more run-ins, and we're expecting Solo to come out because that's exactly what he did last year at WrestleMania 39, and of course, Solo comes out, he does the same exact shit, but then Cody's able to get out of it, and then we're like, okay, fuck yeah, someone is coming out right now. I envisioned it as being The Rock would already be out there with Solo and Jimmy Uso and Roman, and Cody would be like totally like 3 against 1 at some point, and then someone would come out and run out and save Cody. And I was hoping that was going to be Stone Cold. Okay, so remember back in Chicago when The Rock was doing that fight with Cody outside and it was raining? Well, you could see in the background they had a truck that was strategically placed there, and they had a picture of John Cena and Stone Cold. And I thought, maybe they're putting that Stone Cold there to get you excited, like he's going to make a return or something like that. I don't know. Call it wishful thinking. I thought that shit would have been dope as fuck if Stone Cold came out to help Cody. That I was thinking about the crashing glass and going out there and giving, fucking The Rock the stunner, and after Cody wins, and, them having beers and shit, and I was really hoping for it. I knew that someone was going to come out and help Cody, though. I just knew it. So it didn't exactly happen with Stone Cold, but it was pretty good. So anyways, this is what happened. So Solo goes out there, and he does the same thing they did at WrestleMania 39, but Cody's able to get out of it and kick out. John Cena is like, fuck this, I've seen enough. And John Cena goes out there and he, you know, kind of whoops some ass on Solo. And you're like, all right, cool. And then, of course, you know that The Rock is coming out. You know, the final boss is coming out. And then, like clockwork, the music hit. Everything was great. And The Rock comes marching down the ring. And everything's fucking great, man. I'm so loving this shit. And The Rock is cussing and saying, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is my fucking ring. Get the fuck out. Who the fuck? I'm the final fucking boss. And The Rock is so intense. And the acting, everything. I'm fucking so just loving this shit. Like, I've been loving wrestling for like this whole year, the whole beginning of like 2024, but I'm just fucking loving this shit. And I'm knowing that John Cena is not the last motherfucker to come out and try to help fucking Cody Rhodes. So I'm like, dude, I'm fucking excited as fuck. I'm into this shit. I feel like I'm 13 years old. It's 1997 all over again. You know, it's the dawn of the Attitude Era. I'm at a house show fucking watching, you know, the Hart Foundation versus Stone Cold, and then like, dude, I'm fucking losing my shit. Like, I'm excited. I'm feeling like a kid again. Oh my God, I'm loving it. And then, like, you know, John Cena totally gets like flatlined by The Rock and totally jobs to The Rock. But he doesn't get pinned, but he just gets his ass whooped, which is cool, because we know that's not the end of it. And, you know, he's putting over The Rock. There's the final boss. The final boss is standing over Cody, and then all of a sudden, what the fuck? The Shield? Okay, wait a minute. Is fucking probably going to be Seth Rollins, but is Dean Ambrose going to come out? I thought he was, like, totally in the shits or on the blacklist for the WWE. I doubt if it'll be Dean Ambrose. It'll probably be Seth Rollins. Yeah, it comes out as Seth Rollins, but then Seth Rollins gets fucked up by Roman Reigns, and then I'm still thinking to myself, that can't be it. That there's still got to be another one to come out here and save Cody, and there's still got to be someone that's got to do a run-in against The Rock. Because before, when John Cena came out, he did a run-in basically on Roman Reigns and Solo. But I knew that someone was going to come out and do a run-in for Cody against The Rock. So still, I'm hoping for Stone Cold. I'm fucking I'm out of my seat. I'm fucking like, oh, fuck, this is fucking dope. It's going to be someone else. I fucking know someone else is coming out. And the person that I was with, she was like, yeah, for sure, fucking somebody else is coming out. For sure. And then you hear that bong, that Undertaker bong, and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, and then the lights go out, and you see all the fucking cell phones and the butterflies or fucking buzzards, whatever the fuck, and I'm knowing it's gonna be the Undertaker, and I'm thinking the Undertaker is gonna do his traditional entrance, like come out like, oh, and then the lights come on, and Undertaker is standing there, dressed in his American Badass shit. The Rock doesn't see him, and then it's beautiful, like camera work, everything, and then The Rock turns around, he's like, oh, fuck, he tries to hit the Undertaker, he does a choke slam, fucking picks him up, fucking slams him, and like stands there in his black gloves and shit, looking like a fucking security guard, like a Night Stalker guy, and you hear bong, and then he gets out of the ring, and he's fucking gone, and oh my God, I loved it so much. It made I already really enjoyed this WrestleMania, but that shit was fucking dope as fuck, dude. You know, I thought when I heard the Undertaker's bong, I thought the Undertaker was gonna come out and do like that slow walk, and we were gonna have the WrestleMania entrance and this and that and blah blah blah. No, I like the way that they did it. He was like in the ring, like, yes, bitch, I'm here, and he was wearing his American Badass, like, oh fuck, that shit. I swear, it made like my whole weekend, you know. But guess what? It's not over. This match is not over, and now that's all done. Fucking The Rock has got chokeslammed. He's out of the ring, and we are reminded again. This is about Cody Rhodes and fucking Roman Reigns. Okay, and then you see this whole thing with the belt and Roman, and he sees Seth. What am I gonna do? And he's like, nah, fuck this. I think I want to whoop on Seth's ass for a little bit. He makes the mistake. Roman fucked up, and he took his eye off of Cody, and he was thinking about the Shield, and I'm this Roman Empire, and I can do whatever the fuck I want, and this and that. And it was a great way for him to kind of fuck up, and Cody, you know, he took advantage of it, and he did 3 crossroads on him, and then the crowd was like totally being like 1, 2, 3, and like I was thinking to myself, you know what? I don't want this to end. I think this would be a good time for them to end this match, but I love this shit so much, I don't want it to end. But I thought maybe it probably won't end because I think that they want to draw this out and keep having more great shit happen. But it was that being said, I think that kind of helped with the shock of, even if you thought Cody was going to win, when that 1, 2, 3 hit, the crowd exploded because, like, holy fuck, it actually happened. And it was fucking awesome. And then Cody's wife goes in there and she kisses him. And it's cool. And they have all the close-ups on Cody's face. And it's done really well. And the crowd goes fucking nuts. And it's just fucking great. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't really show too much on air of Roman leaving, like, dejected after he lost. And the Roman and Paul Heyman kind of left The Rock kind of standing there. And I think that we're going to see that later on the road, and we're going to put it in video packages. But it was all focused on Cody right now, which is well-deserving, and it was fucking awesome. And that crowd was on their feet. And if they know that's the last match of WrestleMania, but you know what? If you looked at that crowd, they were not leaving. Those people were still there. And that was really cool, because in most shows, they want to get the fuck out of the parking lot, especially at WrestleMania when there's that many people. So people usually leave during the main event. Like, sometimes, or when the main event is over, like 1, 2, 3, then they get the fuck out of there as fast as they can. But they stayed, and that says a lot. And everybody was on their feet with their phones and shit. Some guy had a really cool Cody Rhodes Stormtrooper helmet. And then all of the wrestlers came out, and they did the Bret Hart WrestleMania 10 thing, where they put him on his shoulders, and they're like, and it was kind of like all like the baby faces, I guess you could say. And it was a really cool moment, and it was cool because, CM Punk came out, and again, we were seeing a real life moment here that wasn't just scripted like, hey, we're glad that the good guy is finally has the belt now, and one of the baby faces. No, it was real life shit where I know that they probably knew they were going to do this, but then the guys came out and they were like, dude, fucking Cody, he finally did it for his dad. He did it for him. Let's go out there and and those are real interactions when they're hugging him and, giving him a high five, and these personal speeches that we didn't even know what they said, but they're like, brother, I love you, man. I love you. And, you've been there forever. And then, it was so heartwarming when Cody calls out Bruce Pritchard and, Triple H, and he has a real moment with Bruce Pritchard, and it was real. This is real life stuff where they're really proud of him. They're like, dude, you deserve it. And I was glad that Cody was able to do it for him and his family and for his father. I was glad for Cody, and we saw that they were happy for Cody too. And we saw a glimpse into who they really are. Randy Orton was really real nice with Cody. It was just a really good moment. And then Cody went outside and he was talking to Michael Cole, and it looked like Michael Cole was going to start crying, and he had tears in his eyes. And then the person I was with, she actually started to say, oh, I'm starting to get choked up. I'm starting to cry. I'm starting to get choked up. And you know what? I'm 40 years old, and I'm okay to say it. I was getting choked up too. I wasn't bawling, but I had some tears rolling down my face, and I was feeling it, and it was a great moment. It was a great moment for everybody, for Cody, for his family. It really was a special moment. Okay, look, you can call me a bitch all you want. I don't care. But there are moments in WWE where I cry. I usually cry during the Hall of Fame the Hall of Fame speeches. That happens regularly. Another time where I cry in the WWE was when I was watching WrestleMania 7, or, and the whole thing with Macho Man and Elizabeth, that reunion. And that was a really emotional moment, and there are not that many tear-jerking moments, like genuine tear-jerking moments that I would cry at while watching wrestling. This was one of them. I mean, I wasn't crying as hard as I was for the Liz and Randy thing when I saw it, when it first happened when I was 7, and as much as you can cry, you're still watching it now, but this was probably like the number 2 second closest crying moment I ever had, or the most emotional moment. It just felt good. I was happy for Cody. I was happy for everybody. And it was like the highlight of the night. That whole match was fucking so awesome. I was so happy with it. The Undertaker coming out, everything. It just, I loved it so much. And I love how I think that Cody was really speaking from the heart. He was really being himself. And it wasn't a character. It was like he's shooting, and he's still living in this world of entertainment and script. But it's like, look, fuck that. Yeah, I'm speaking from the heart, man. I'm fucking happy that all you guys are here to witness this, because I fucking worked really hard for it. This is some real life shit, and it was very special, and it was very great. Man, I fucking loved it so much. What a WrestleMania, what a way to fucking finish that WrestleMania. I gave this match 5 stars based off of everything. The in-ring work, it didn't even have to be all that great. It wasn't bad at all. But all the extra stuff that went with it, the story, Cody winning, The Undertaker, The Rock, all this stuff, this little street fight segment that they did. It's not the greatest match of all time for sure. It's not that. It's not a 5-star Tokyo match like fucking Dave Meltzer likes to say. Okay, but this is a 5-star match for all the other stuff that happened, and it was very special. Wrestling is entertainment, and entertainment it's about emotion, and it's about taking you somewhere else while you're watching this and letting you forget about your stuff that's going on in your life, and you're losing yourself in this moment, and you're feeling a certain way, and you're enjoying yourself. You're just it moves you. And this match, this moment, all this stuff from the beginning to end with this match, it did it, and it was fucking awesome. And it really they hit a definite home run here with this. Okay, so before I give my final review for WrestleMania 40, both as a whole and night 2, and I want to address a few things. I understand that I was cussing and going a little nuts and super excited and repeating myself, saying stuff like, oh fuck, oh I fucking love this shit, oh my gosh, oh I was so fucking happy. Look, I get it, okay, I'm not sorry. I was excited, I was pumped up, I'm passionate about it. It is what it is, okay? I understand. All right, with that being said, I want to address another thing, is that the difference between Stone Cold being the one to run in and save Cody instead of The Undertaker. Now, I did see online that The Rock said that he wanted Stone Cold to be there originally, but Stone Cold didn't want to do it because he wanted to spend time with his family, and because if he was going to do it, then he was asking for way too much money. But anyways, I really wanted Stone Cold to be there, to be the guy to run in, because he's the biggest rival for The Rock, and I just thought it made the most sense. But after what they did with The Undertaker, I don't think that I would change it, you know. And also thinking the way that they did it, how they brought in The Undertaker, like, you know, the lights off, he appears, and the lights off, then he leaves. I think that was way more cinematic, and I think it was better because it allowed Cody to kind of shine more. If Stone Cold were to be the one to run in, he would have to run in like through the crowd, beat The Rock's ass, and then he would have to like run out of the crowd, you know, and the crowd would be so pumped up that they saw like Stone Cold or whatever, but it would be weird because he would have to leave, because if Stone Cold stays in the ring, people are going to be thinking about Stone Cold. He's going to be like, give me a beer. He's going to be drinking beer in the freaking ring, and then, you know, he's going to be drinking beer with Cody, and then people are going to be like, is he going to stun Cody? It would take away from Cody's moment, okay? And I think that what they did with The Undertaker was good, and it fit with the secret to the success of this WrestleMania, which I think is that they stayed with a cinematic approach, and they treated it the same way that a very good movie is constructed. Now, wrestling and movies, they're kind of like the same, okay? A WrestleMania is the same thing kind of as a movie. There's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end, and then they're telling a story. It's an art form, it's entertainment. They're telling a story, okay? And one of the greatest like secrets in I don't even know if it's a secret, but one of the best known things in Hollywood when it comes to like writing a movie is that the most important part of the movie is the ending. Now, you can entertain them in the beginning, you can thrill them, whatever, in the middle, and all this good stuff. But when you can really wow them in the end, and you can really have them be like, holy fuck, what was one of the best endings I've ever seen? And you have the audience leaving thinking about the movie. You have it leaves with them. It goes home with them. They're at home and they're still thinking about it. It's changed their mood, and their feelings are totally like it's fuck. This helicopter's fucking me up right now, but I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna keep talking because I'm not gonna redo this shit. I don't know. You guys can probably hear it, but anyways, hold on. What is it? Oh no, it's like a news chopper. I live in Los Angeles, so there's probably a high speed chase. Anyways, yeah. So if you want people to be wowed with the ending. You want the ending to be really something special. And once you can do that, that is the difference between having a good movie and a great movie, or one of the greatest movies of all time. Now, that's what they did with this WrestleMania. The last match, the main event, the most important part, was the best part, and it had a great ending, and that is what put this WrestleMania 40 over the top. Not just night 2, but WrestleMania 40 as a whole. It put it over the top, and just like in Hollywood, like, you know, you got Empire Strikes Back, Rogue One, movies like that where it's like a fantastic ending. You're just like, holy fucking shit, dude, that was insane. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I know, like, there's other movies that have great endings too, like Chinatown, whatever, but I'm just saying, you get the point, okay? They followed the rule in Hollywood that the ending is the most important part. And they also followed the do things in threes rule. Like in comedy, things happen in threes. Now, they strategically, they had 4 guys run out there to save Cody, but they purposely only had 3 of them go into the ring. So Jimmy Uso, he tried to attack Cody, and then what happened is that Jey Uso came out, and then Jimmy Uso, he ran up the aisleway to go and get Jey. Now, I think they did this on purpose because they wanted things to happen in threes, meaning that they wanted 3 guys to go into the ring to try to save Cody, because on the third time, the third guy, then that would be the one that would save Cody. You know, things happen in threes. 1, 2, 3. There you go. That's when it happens. It's jab, jab, knockout. And so I think that they did that on purpose, to where they made sure that, you know, that Jey was included because it was just more stuff, but they made sure that he didn't go in the ring. And then you've got John Cena. He goes in the ring, number 1. And then you got Seth Rollins. He goes in the ring, number 2. And they both get beat up. And they're not really able to save Cody. And you're like, okay, you know, right then somebody else is coming out. And you're like, okay, cool. And whoever it is that is going to come out, they're going to get The Rock. And then it was The Undertaker. And they did it, and they did it right, and they did it cinematically with just how it was like the bong and dong and whatever. It was epic. And it left you being like, that was fucking great. So it took that WrestleMania from like a high B+ to like somewhere around like an A-. Okay, so with that being said, a lot of people are saying, is this the greatest WrestleMania of all time? No, it's not the greatest WrestleMania of all time. There are 2. When it comes to the greatest WrestleManias of all time, there's 3 of them that go in that category that are unquestionably the 3 greatest WrestleManias of all time, and they're in tier 1. And there's only 3, and that's WrestleMania 17, 3, and 19. And probably the best is 17. My favorite is WrestleMania 3. But after that, you've got tier 2. And in tier 2, at the top of that, you've got like WrestleMania 14 and probably WrestleMania 30. Now, where does WrestleMania 40 lie? I think that it lies at the top of the tier 2, but probably under WrestleMania 14 and above WrestleMania 30. But I definitely think that it's in the top part of the second tier. All right, so with that being said, the match scores for night 2, there were 6 matches, so there were 30 stars possible, because each match is 5 stars. These matches got 25 out of 30 stars, which is 83%, so it's like a B-. So then I took the match scores and the scores from okay, so anyways, hold on. So it's a B-, but you have to consider the other things that make up what a great WrestleMania is. And in an art, because this is art, 2 + 2 doesn't always equal 4. There's other variables, the how it made you feel, the energy, the crowd involvement, did it leave with you? How was the ending? Like, that's the most important part. And it's all these extra things that all these different intangibles. So I put those things into consideration, and I gave night 2 for WrestleMania 40 a 88%. And so that is pretty good. It's a B+, but now I have to score. Thank you, helicopter. There's a fucking helicopter that's flying right over me again. It's a news helicopter. I live in LA, and it's in the morning now, and I don't give a fuck. I'm outside in the sun, and it feels nice, so whatever. Anyways,
So now I got to grade the whole WrestleMania 40 as a whole, with combining the points from the first and the second night. It was 176 out of 200, and blah blah blah. Anyways, the final score for WrestleMania 40, I got it at a 92%, which is an A minus, and that is kind of generous and conservative at the same time. I think that's appropriate. It's really, really good, but it wasn't an A plus. It wasn't one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. So that being said, if you guys like this video, please subscribe, comment in it. I will love to interact with you guys and hear what you have to say. If you guys want to donate to the channel, you could do so. I'd really appreciate it, because it takes a lot of work to put these videos in. You can cash at me at my Cash App. The symbol is the little money sign, is the money sign, and then wrestling art, and then you can Venmo me. It's an @ symbol and wrestling art, and my name is Tyler Daschuk. So anyways, thanks guys. This is the first time I've done a video like this. I'm probably going to be doing more. So anyways, I love wrestling, and I'm excited. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.